Alright everyone, in this video I want to do a follow-up to the last video, which is how to add different proportioned metahumans. So you can see I'm playing as a female metahuman, she's a little bit shorter. And how do you sort of go about setting this sort of thing up? Now, it's not really as simple as you might expect because animations are made for certain proportions, and if you shrink your character, you need kind of new animations. And of course, retargeting will allow the animations to work, and you can see if your game just needs a female that you can run around and jump over different objects or whatever, that's fine. But if you need a female character that can like hold and shoot a rifle, you've kind of got a different problem. Now, I actually could attach the rifle to the hands here, but even if I did that, there would still be issues where the character would not hold the rifle properly. Probably a better example is if I put these swords on. You can see the left hand attaches properly. I'd have to move the right hand socket to get it to attach properly. But you can get this stuff to work. You should be aware though that for things like holding objects, it's going to be a little bit trickier and is going to require a little bit more expertise to be setting it up. You know, you shouldn't expect everything to work kind of perfectly. But nonetheless, I will show you how to set it up. And it is actually very easy to set up just a female metahuman that can run around. Like I said, more of the issues that you get is to do with animations and so on. But running around and mantling objects and so on actually works quite well. Okay, in order to set this up, I've made another metahuman called Polly. And I've used the same procedure that I did to make the male one. And so I've used the metahuman creator. I think Polly's just one of the presets. And I have created Polly here. Then you will want to make an appearance asset, just like you did for the metahuman we made in the last video. You'll want to make one for Polly. Now, for metahumans that are different proportions, you will want to do retargeting. So I'm going to show you how to set up your character if you need to retarget it. Again, I would kind of advise against this, and I'm going to show you a way to not have to retarget as well in this video. But if you absolutely need a smaller metahuman and you understand the limitations of having different proportions, the way to do it is to make your appearance. For the character visual class, you will want to select metahuman visual underscore retarget. This is a metahuman that is set up specifically for retargeting, and it uses the retargeting that the game animation sample project uses, where the body is invisible and has all the animations on it, and then the actual visible metahuman that you see follows that. So that's why when I equipped the rifle earlier, it wasn't in the right spot. It was because it was attaching the rifle to that invisible mesh, and you would want to attach it to the body. So in any case, here's the metahuman visual retarget. We've already set that up for you. The base mesh, you will want to select Mani Invis. The setup is actually quite similar. I haven't gone for separating this character into multiple parts, so I just have a body and a clothes, basically. But you could do what I showed you in the video where we make it all modular and we separate it into pieces. I think I was just a little bit lazy, so I just went for the non-modular approach here. And so I've got torso is set up to be the outfit, and I've got the mesh.body slot is the body. Make sure that use leader pose is turned off for the body, and make sure that it uses MH retarget and then the proportions. Now we include a couple of these. Female tall underweight and tall normal weight. These are the old metahuman proportions. So with the new metahuman creator, I don't think they have these preset weights. I think you can make the character as tall or as short as you want. But if you actually open up one of these and see how it works, it is actually relatively simple. It's just this MH retarget animation blueprint. And it uses an IK retargeter asset. Now, this is not an Unreal Engine tutorial. I'm not going to go into like IK retargeters. There will be documentation out there on it. It's essentially this asset that kind of allows you to retarget from one set of proportions to another. And if mid underweight is for a smaller female character, in reality, you probably are going to want to make your own one. This is just one that we include out of the box. It works quite well for this smaller proportioned metahuman. But if you want to make a really exact sized one, I will leave a link in the description about IK retargeters and how to generate them and so on. I think it's a little bit outside the scope. If you really don't know what you're doing, just select this one here because it will work for a small size metahuman if that's what you're going with. If you're going for like a larger metahuman or something, different proportions, you will probably need to make your own custom one. The other thing you're going to want to do is, in the last video, we select the ABP face. I've made a custom one called face RT, face retarget. That is because if you're using a retargeted metahuman, the face actually needs to follow the body mesh instead of the main character mesh. So all you'll have to do is just make a copy of that face anim BP and just rename it to face RT. And then instead of getting your character mesh, we simply get the metahuman visual, get the body mesh, and grab the mesh from there and then plug it in the same way that we did before. So it's really not very much different happening here. It's just, we're just grabbing a different mesh to retarget from. And that's just due to how the retargeted metahuman is set up. If all this is quite complicated, this is exactly how retargeting works in the GASP project. So it's not really a narrative pro feature. It's more just copying the setup of GASP, but making it in a sort of narrative pro way. And once you have that, you'll be able to hit play and jump in. Now, I should talk a little bit about attaching things to the character, because this is probably a big thing. So if you have a retargeted metahuman, things like swords actually will probably work quite nicely, because the animations don't actually require the proportions to be right, because you're holding a sword in each hand, right? Your character could kind of be whatever proportions you want and it would work. It's things like a rifle where one hand needs to be in one place and another hand needs to be in another place that don't work very well. But how do you fix this problem where like one of the swords is attached correctly and the other one isn't? The way you fix it is the same way that you change any attachment in Narrative Pro. If I eject out of the editor and click on one of these objects like the demo dagger, if you've watched some of our videos on how combat is set up, you will find in here weapon attachment configure. Oh, sorry. Where is it? Here we go. Wield attachment configs. This defines whether we attach to the weapon R bone or the hand L bone or whatever. And so the reason that one of the swords is floating in midair is because it's attaching the sword to the weapon R bone. But for this metahuman, there is no weapon R bone, so it's attaching it to that invisible hand instead. So there are multiple ways to fix this. Probably the easiest would be to just add the weapon R bone to the metahuman body mesh. So if I was to go into the poly appearance, open the body mesh, you can see it's not going to have weapon R on it. It doesn't have that bone, and so it doesn't know where to attach it. But we could sort of get around this by just adding a socket to hand R and call that weapon R. So the attachment can be either a bone or a socket. So this is valid. I can do this. And because weapon R now exists on my body mesh, when it tries attaching to my character, it should actually successfully attach it. You just need to keep in mind that it won't sort of know out of the box. Like the hand R is not set up to be in the right spot, whereas the weapon R is. And so what you would have to do in your body mesh, you would need to move the weapon R bone out of the hand and like into where it actually needs to be held. So, you know, this is obviously, you can do little things like this to set it up yourself. Ultimately, you probably will want an animator. It depends. I mean, in this case, this would work. I think this would be pretty much what you're looking for. But there are more complicated uses of the weapon L. If you have an animation, for example, where your character throws their sword up and catches it, you can't do that with this sort of setup because sockets can't animate to do things like that. But, you know, for simple cases like this, you definitely could just add the weapon R socket and kind of position it, and this would actually work. I mean, this is like a relatively decent looking setup. It's not going to work for two-handed weapons like rifles and so on. Another thing I want to touch on is, due to sockets and attachment, the rifle will not attach to the actual body of the metahuman. The rifle will try attach to the body first, and then it will attach to the main character mesh second. And in this retargeted setup, the main character mesh is invisible, so the rifle kind of floats. So all we have to do is just add a socket to our metahuman like we just did for that sword. But I'm going to show you something here called mesh sockets. Mesh sockets let you position something per mesh. So if you had lots of different types of metahumans and different sizes, you can have each size define where the rifle should sit on the character's back. So now I'm going to show you how to add one of those to your metahuman. If we click on the rifle, open it up, you can see under the holster attachment configs, it attaches to this socket back A. And so what we can do is actually add a socket back A to our body mesh. And narrative will see that it exists on the body mesh, and then it should work. So we'll add socket. I'm going to call it socket back A. You can right click and create mesh socket. So the socket exists just for this mesh. And if you had a different mesh, the socket would be in a different spot, which is exactly what you want, right? You want it to be per mesh, because each mesh will have sort of different sizing and needs to be at a different spot. So if I add that socket and I was to pick up a rifle now, you can see it's attaching at that socket. And what I can now do is move the back A socket into the correct spot for this mesh. And now my game can have lots of different meshes and different proportions, and each character will position it correctly for their proportions. So you would want to mess around with this and get it in the right spot. But this is how you have lots of different characters, each with their own kind of attachment location. And so you can see now for this character, the rifle is actually sitting properly against her back. I could probably adjust that a little bit further, but you get the point there. So that's how to handle that. And it's the same for the wield bones as well. If a bone exists on the body, it should attach to the body. So as long as you add that weapon R bone to the metahuman, holding swords and different things like that will work. And when I get the rifle out, the reason it's floating in midair is because it's attaching to that invisible socket. And I would need the socket to exist on the body so that it attaches properly. So for the reasons that I've kind of gone into, which is things like proportions have all sorts of problems, and you really need to be experienced to get around some of these issues. If you are a little bit less experienced and don't really want to go down the road of all the animation stuff, now I'm going to explain some alternatives to let you have a female metahuman without all of the retargeting stuff. So your other option, if you want a female character, is to use Quinn. So let me show you that. We will go to our narrative game mode, default player, and we can use Quinn. Now Quinn uses the same skeleton, so you don't have to do any retargeting. And the proportions are about the same, but Quinn has more feminine proportions that look normal on a female character. If I was to use the Manny proportions on this character, she would look very weird. And so if you have a female character, what you can do is copy the setup that we use for Quinn, but instead of using SKM Quinn, use your female metahuman. For anyone that's seen the Relic Heist tech demo that we released, this is the technique that we used to do the main character Ava. And you can see Ava can use things like the rifle with no real problems. And that's because Ava is using this Quinn technique. So if you have a taller character, you can get away with this essentially. You can see the base mesh is Quinn, and then you just add the metahuman pieces. It's basically the same as the initial metahuman video that we just released, the last one where we set up metahumans. It's the same thing, just select Quinn as your base instead, and you can kind of have the best of both worlds, and you don't need to do any retargeting. The only sort of drawback is your female metahuman needs to be a relatively similar height to Quinn. The shorter that your female is, the more it will need to be stretched to the height of Quinn. So if you have a really short character and you try to do this, your character won't look right. So ideally, sort of the best way that you can do this is when you make your female metahuman character, you can just drag your female metahuman in and drag Quinn in, and just make sure that they're relatively similar heights. Obviously, the less similar, the more silly it will look. But you can see for a character like Ava in the demo, Ava looks relatively normal. So it really depends on the extent to which you end up stretching the character. But I think this is probably the best compromise. If you want to put female metahumans in and you don't want to go for like a really short one and you're happy to compromise, I would recommend doing that. If you have to have shorter metahumans, good luck. It's doable. It's just, you know, you're probably going to need an animator. You're probably going to need some expertise. Narrative Pro is not necessarily a replacement for having people that are, you know, skilled with animation on your team if you go down that road. Last thing I should say, by the way, is that this tutorial actually applies for shorter males as well. This isn't just a female metahuman thing. This is really different proportions across the board. And of course, if you have crazy different proportions, like you're trying to add a wolf or a horse or something, you'll need a completely different sort of base skeleton. You can watch our horse tutorial to kind of see how to use different skeletons entirely. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, and thanks for watching.